So right now the time is 11:19 a.m. Pacific time. It's the morning of Wednesday, September 7th. So as of last night, I have officially passed the first part of the FTMO challenge. I think it's been a while since I've posted an update on my trades here. So it's a new month right now. September just started, and I think the last trade I shared was my last trade at the end of August on USDJPY. So you can go back and check that one. But as far as the start of this month, I have placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades. I've been trying to capture the breakdown in the JPY pairs. JPY has been setting up for a nice downward move, and that happened at the beginning of the week, this week. So you can see from my trades, I was mostly looking to sell JPY and buy some of the other currencies that were going up, like US dollar. So I'll show I'll walk through my trades on the spreadsheet first, and then I'll go to showing how they unfolded on the charts in TradingView. So last week on Thursday, I attempted to trade the breakout in USDJPY. This was Thursday evening, September 1st, my time. So I made one attempt at 9:45 to enter, but I got out of that trade rather quickly. Yeah, just after 2 hours, within 2 hours, I exited the trade for a 3-pip loss on both of my positions. And then I think at 11:16 p.m. I tried to enter again, and then I exited within half an hour and took 17 pips and 18 pips of loss, respectively. I think I remember the second trade was not so good. I'll talk about the reasons why in just a moment, but it's not just because of the higher loss that I think it was bad. I think I was a bit impacted from the first trade, which led to my psychology not being the best after entering the second one. So yeah, then I just left the charts for a while. I didn't trade for the rest of last week, and I came back this Monday, or actually it was Sunday night my time, and I tried to take a breakout trade on pound CAD. If I recall, I think pound was setting up to be weak at the beginning of this week, and CAD was fairly strong. I took a sell at 10 p.m. on Sunday, and then I also exited that trade in about an hour with some minor losses. And then yeah, so the main winning trades that helped me pass the FTMO challenge was the JPY pairs. So the breakout did end up happening this week on Monday evening and Tuesday. So for those that are not in the US, we had a holiday on Monday. It was our Labor Day here, so markets were a bit quiet on Sunday evening and Monday during the day. And then in the evening, about when the London session opened, the markets really started moving. So yeah, we had some very big trends in JPY so far this week. This is today's currency strength chart. So you can see JPY itself sold down about 120 pips, and comparing against some of the stronger currencies, dollar was up until the end of the London session today. Swiss franc has been relatively strong, and CAD, similar to USD, was strong, but it's also since sold off. So yeah, a lot of these moves are generally because of the weak JPY. So even if you sell it against the currency that's not moving so much, you should have been able to capture some nice profits in the past 48 hours. Similarly, yesterday, JPY also sold off another 140 pips at the max, so down 120 pips yesterday. Dollar was strong yesterday, rising about 60 pips. Swiss franc, it's about even, did not move. And CAD was also strong, just behind the USD yesterday. So if you traded any of these pairs against the JPY, you should have seen some nice trends in the markets. So yeah, I was specifically trading Swiss franc JPY yesterday. I took a buy around 10 p.m. And then I was holding this trade until 9:30 p.m. yesterday. I made 220 pips on these two positions, and I would have still been holding this pair if I was trading normally and not part of a challenge. But yeah, I think I placed my stop losses just after I passed the challenge, and then they got triggered. I'll talk more about that in just a moment on the charts. But yeah, so after yesterday, when I saw Swiss franc JPY was running over 100 pips of profit, I woke up yesterday morning and tried to put on another position against JPY. I was looking either to buy USD or CAD against the JPY, just to diversify a little bit into a different pair. So I tried putting on a position at 8:25 a.m., but it didn't really end up going anywhere. And I noticed that during the second half of the New York session, after 9 a.m. my time, it's usually the traders will start to close their positions. So I'm not that confident in any trends that I see forming in the second half. So yeah, within 40 minutes, I ended up exiting the CADJPY trade. Took just 1 pip of loss. In fact, I remember watching this trade unfold, and I think I hesitated for about 5 or 10 seconds. If I closed it just a few seconds before, I would have small win instead of a small loss, but that's fine. So yeah, I think the balance, I don't count any trades that I haven't closed yet, but the running equity was about 206,000 by the time I exited, because of the profits from Swiss franc JPY. And then towards the evening yesterday, this was during the Asian session, I believe, I captured another breakout in USDJPY, and this trade, along with Swiss franc JPY, took off later in the evening, and I ended up passing the FTMO challenge with a final balance of $221,862. This is against an initial balance of 200,000. So the profit target is 10% in order to consider the attempt at a pass. I think I was up as high as 225,000 before I exited the trade. So yeah, from the very low this month, I had some drawdowns of about and a quarter%. This is the highest drawdown, I think, over a 30-day period that I've sustained this entire year since January. So it's my highest drawdown so far, but at the same time, it's also my highest gain within the 30-day period. So if you count September alone, I made about 13% from the initial 196,000 that I carried over from August. But if you count the low to the high, so the low being at my lowest point, 193, that would have been about a 15% gain. So yeah, in total, if you count from the initial 200,000 that I started with, when I started the challenge at 814, this would have been just over a 10% gain, about 10.5%. But yeah, in total, I had to make about 15% gains because I had some drawdowns initially to make up for it. Yeah, I was surprised by how strong the trends were this week. I thought at best I would be, above 200,000 and maybe get a free reattempt. So yeah, this FTMO challenge that I started on the 14th, it would have expired by the 13th of next week, 13th of September. So this was the last full week of trading that I had to at least try and bring myself back to above the 200,000 if I wanted to qualify for a free reattempt. Otherwise, I would have had to pay for a new challenge because I would have not met the break-even level to qualify for that. So yeah, this was quite a nice surprise for me. I didn't think, after having my drawdown, I didn't think I would be able to make back all that I lost or even up to the profit targets. So yeah, let me go over some of these JPY charts to show you where my exact trades were taken. So I think I'll go in order. Let me first show USDJPY. So yeah, on the weekly chart, so this is this week's candle, but last week we closed decisively above the previous high, and this market was setting up to go higher for this week. So I took a trade, yeah, on the first here. Let me show the 4-hour chart. But yeah, I took a trade, where was it? Yeah, this was my winning trade from August 31st. And then here was my break even or slightly losing trade attempt on September 1st. So let me go to the replay function. Yeah, so I took a trade at the end of the Asian session on September 1st. The 1-hour candle was able to close above the previous highs, and I thought it would break out right here, but it ended up not, and I just got out a couple hours later. So yeah, on the 5-minute chart here, you can see why I got out. So I initially took the entry on this breakout right here. I think I took 47 or 46 pips of stop loss. So that would have put it, yeah, right about here at the previous wick low at 139.9. So yeah, as you can see, it failed to make a newer high within several hours, and I just got out here when this 5-minute candle looked like it was going to break right here. So yeah, I should have just stopped trading at this point, but in the next 10 minutes, it looked like it was going to break out again. And the reason why this second trade was a bad trade, first of all, I don't think I waited for the 5-minute candle to close. You can see this long wick here. I was probably watching the 1 or 2 minute charts, trying to read the tape, as they say. So I probably took the trade somewhere up here at the very top when it looked like this candle was going to close above. And then that didn't happen. It sold back down and went into a range again. And I exited the second trade at 11:45. So that would have been on the exact close of this candle right here. So at least I got myself out when the 5-minute chart broke support here. But yeah, I wasn't happy with this trade because it's something I should not have got involved with in the first place. And I did some thinking about why I felt compelled to take this trade. For me, at least, I tend to make mistakes when I feel I was right initially and the market, I got out and then the market ends up going in my direction. It's kind of a psychology thing. I don't like being, I'm a type of person that doesn't like to be cheated, I guess. So, yeah, I've taken similar trades before where I get into a trade and obviously I'm disciplined enough to get out if I see the trade doesn't go in my direction. For example, like this first initial attempt here. But yeah, I tend to make mistakes, follow-up mistakes, if I think the trade was going in my direction. So even though this setup was not as good as the first one, I took it anyway and took a bigger loss because the entry would have been farther away and my stop loss would have been farther away. So yeah, in comparison, I took 3 pips of loss on the first attempt and 17 and 18 pips of loss in the second one. As a whole, I can probably afford to make these mistakes as my profits will cover them in the future. But just for me to improve, I'm gonna try to cut down on these losing trades and not trade so much. So yeah, essentially if I have 3 or 4 consecutive losers in a row, I'll probably not trade for a while, just come back the next day or the next week. So yeah, this was USDJPY on the 1st, which was last Thursday. So starting off this week, I was attempting to trade pound CAD. Let me show what that pair was looking like. So last week's candle closed bearish below the previous support, and I thought this market was going to sell off continuously. For one, there's no real significant support. I think we already passed this one at 1.524. So there would have been several hundred more pips to trade until the next wick low formed back in 2010 at 1.482. So yeah, this is the daily chart. It looked like on Monday it was breaking past the previous daily candle close. Let me see if I remember exactly where I exited or entered and exit. Okay, so yeah, I exited very quickly, I think within an hour. But yeah, this was the 1-hour chart. I was looking for it to break this doji low right here. So I think I entered here at the end of the Tokyo session. This was where my marker was. Let me look at the 5-minute chart. So yeah, the 5-minute chart did break. You see we had lower highs and lower lows. So I saw the market close below this wick here at the 2145 candle close. So I was looking for just one more sell-off confirmation. So it rebounded, found resistance at 1.508, and then took two more candles to break this low right here. So after the, I waited for the hour close at 2200. And so not only did the 5-minute candle close below the most recent support, but so did the 1-hour candle. So that was the reason why I chose to get involved, and I took a sell right at the opening of the next 5-minute candle. So yeah, initially it went in my direction a little bit, but then at 2250 I saw this candle close to test the previous high here, and then for the next 10 minutes it did not get sold back down. In fact, we had these two pin bars in the 5-minute candle. So this was when I knew something was wrong and I wanted to get out of the trade. So if you told me that the market was heading down, why would the 5-minute sellers not view this as value to sell, right? So initially they sold it down, but then the buyers pushed it back up in this first 5-minute candle. The sellers tried again, didn't even make it as far. You can, if I zoom in, you can see the first wick is lower than the second wick, and then the buyers in the 5-minute chart were also able to push the second pin bar higher to close as a bullish bar. So then I exited at 1107 exactly. So this is the 1105 candle. So 2 minutes into this candle I exited, and then from then on you can see the sell-off failed entirely, and the buyers came in on the 1-hour charts and I think the 4-hour charts to push pound CAD all the way back up to about 1.523, that area. So yeah, I got out at a good price. This pair has still been trading sideways ever since then, so no reason to get involved unless it breaks decisively below the previous low here. So yeah, that was Monday's trade. And then yeah, on the evening of 9/5, Monday evening, I took another breakout attempt on the JPY pairs, and this was the one that ended up breaking out for real this time. So let me show you Swiss franc JPY. So yeah, strong breakouts on the 1-hour chart for the last 2 days. This candle here was September 5th. So this was when I was looking to set up this trade. Reasons being, we had an ascending wedge pattern. So you can see on the daily chart, higher lows, but same highs. And then on the 5th, this daily candle closed above the previous highs made on August 19th and August 30th. And not only that, but it was able to close into the wick made on June 29th. So yeah, I thought it was likely to break out in the next few days. So I think I was just watching the 4-hour charts. Yeah, so in fact on the 5th, the New York session closed, it closed into the highs. So I thought the Tokyo session would have a good chance of continuing the JPY sell-off. Whenever I trade the currency pairs, I look to see how the market behaves in the native time zones. So Swiss franc JPY, there's a high chance of volume coming in either during the Tokyo or the London sessions. So yeah, I was looking for the Tokyo open. It opened up strong, and then yeah, I decided to get involved around here. So this is the 1 hour chart, but let me use the replay function. So yeah, I will show the 5 minutes of when exactly I got involved. So I entered the trade at 10:20. I saw these breakouts on the 5 minute chart here. Yeah, I took a buy after I think this candle closed. So yeah, I was waiting for a retracement. Took it right here, and the breakout really started happening towards the end of the Asian session, and then it just took off in the London session. So let's see, I think my entry was here at 143.94. My stop loss was 38 pips away. So where's that in the chart here? Okay, so I placed it just below this previous double bottom. So 38 pips would have been right here. And then after the breakout, I was able to move the stop losses to break even, and then I just went to bed. And the next morning, the price really took off. JPY sold off the entire night. And even in the New York session, it was still weak, which was about when I looked for another pair to buy against the JPY. So initially, I decided to buy the Swiss franc JPY and not some other pair like USDJPY because it had a better setup on the 5 minute chart. If you remember from the strength chart, USD has been more volatile. So for example, today USD was up and now it's down, but Swiss franc is relatively more stable in the last few days. When it gains, it's able to hold on to these gains, and on some days it's flat, whereas the USD is more volatile up and down, as you see here. So yeah, it was purely for the fact that it had a better setup on the 5 minute chart. I think when the USD broke out, the closest support was 50 pips away, so I would have to take in 50 or 60 pips of stop loss instead of 30 or 40. And even on the daily setup, I was comparing USD and Swiss franc strength to see which one would have a better chance of going up this week. So I saw on the daily and weekly charts that dollar Swiss franc was trading near the top at this downwards channel, and also testing the previous high right here. So I thought this week that since USD Swiss franc had a good chance of going down, I might prefer Swiss franc JPY instead as a stronger trade. And yeah, you can see even in the last 12 hours, USD Swiss franc looks like it's making a topping pattern. And then against the JPY pairs, Swiss franc has still been strong into this morning. So yeah, Swiss franc JPY is still all the way up here, whereas USD JPY has sold off a bit more in comparison. Yeah, so where I exited exactly in Swiss franc JPY, let's see, so from my initial entry to the exit around here is 220 pips. So I think I saw that I was passing the FTMO challenge sometime around 9 o'clock, 8:30. And funny story, I was just watching the markets keep going up and my profits increase. And then, yeah, I was just watching it for 30 minutes. And then I thought it might be a good idea to set a stop loss to make sure I don't fail the challenge even after I passed. So I was setting my stop losses. I had 4 positions open. I had 2 positions for Swiss franc JPY and 2 positions on USDJPY at this point. I think I had set 3 of the stop losses, and I was setting the stop loss on USDJPY when this 5-minute candle opened up. So you can see this bearish 5-minute candle, and within I think 15 or 30 seconds of me setting the stop loss, the 5-minute sellers came in, triggered 3 of them, and I was in the middle of setting my last stop loss. I saw it happen, and I just went back and closed the trade. So yeah, my peak winnings at the top right here was about 225,000, and then by the time I exited, my account was at 221,000. So yeah, if I wasn't trading the challenge, I probably would have kept the position open and then just came back this morning to trail my stop loss in the 1 hour or 4 hour charts. So in Swiss franc JPY, I would have been up another 100 pips until the present moment. USDJPY, I think I had 73, 74 pips of profit. So similarly on the daily chart, we had some breakouts right here. Yeah, 4 hour. Oh, I gotta turn off the replay first. Yeah, this is the USDJPY weekly chart. So last week, similarly, also closed above the previous high. And I was just looking for a continuation move on September 5th. So yeah, let me see. September 5th, when I put on the Swiss franc trade, USD actually moved way more very quickly. So as I said, that's why I didn't really have a good entry opportunity in USDJPY. So yeah, in the same last half of the Tokyo session, this breakout was like 100 pips almost immediately. Yeah, on the same day, USDJPY moved almost 300 pips, whereas I think Swiss franc JPY was half that. But yeah, I just came back the next day, looked for a new entry opportunity. I saw this triangle pattern, this wedge shape form at the beginning of the Tokyo session. So yeah, even in the Sydney session, right before Tokyo opened, a lot of traders already came in, rushed to put in their positions, which was this huge spike right here. So yeah, during when only the Sydney market was open, that was about a 70 pip, 80 pip spike, and then it came back down to range for a little bit, and then yeah, the next breakout happened about halfway into the Tokyo session. I caught the exact low of this retracement on the 5-minute chart. So I saw this candle go up. It triggered my alert for passing the previous high here. So my plan was to enter a trade if I saw a wedge pattern breakout. That happened at 1905, and then I just waited one more candle to see if it would pass the previous high, and that happened, but it closed as a wick. So I was just patient for a few more minutes. I was watching the 1-minute chart, and it came all the way down to test the previous high right here. So let me show the 1 minute chart. But yeah, I entered as soon as I saw this candle with somewhat of a wick on the tail form. So I entered right at the open of the next 1 minute candle. I got a fill of 143.417. So the price just kind of wiggled around for the next 20 minutes. But I had conviction to stay in this trade, mostly because if you said this was a sideways range, it was trading at the top end of this range for an extended amount of time. So again, using comparative analysis, if the traders in the 5 minute range or the 5 minute time frame thought it would continue trading in a range, then they should perceive this high end as value to sell USDJPY all the way to the bottom. Not only did that not happen, we broke out of this range, but continued to stay in the highs for like 20 or 30 minutes. So I was just watching it, broke out at 1955, and then yeah, I exited right here at 9:30. So yeah, if I check how many pips that was 73, 74 pips from when I exited. Yeah, this high here was exactly when I was planning to or trying to set my FTMO break-even stop loss, winning stop loss, to make sure I didn't fail the challenge if some kind of retracement happened, which it did around 9 or 10 p.m. Pacific time. So if I exit the replay mode, you will see USDJPY is actually trading about at my exit level. It's sold off this morning in the New York session, but yeah, now it's just kind of sideways. So yeah, once again, this was my performance for the second attempt of the FTMO challenge. But yeah, psychologically, I was not doing so well, I think, when I had the drawdown. 3%, it's not a whole lot for the account, but I was just maybe thinking of some of the pressure for me to make back this level and get at least to break even 200,000 to reattempt the trade again the next month. And then yeah, somehow the markets were just trending very strong. So I think the key takeaway is you know, if you have a good system, winning system with edge, just don't doubt it, keep persisting, and the markets will trend again for you to try and capture. And building this history is really important, whether through back testing or forward testing. I learned a lot in this FTMO challenge period that I was attempting about some of the markets that I trade well, some of the pairs that I trade well, and which ones I don't. So I think I'll go over the overall FTMO metrics in a separate video. But yeah, this was just a recap of the last several trades that I wasn't able to post yet. So thanks, and stay tuned for the future.